Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I'm going to share with you this kit. This is called Lots of Happy Card Kit and it's in the annual catalog. And I was so taken with the beautiful cards that you can make with this kit that I bought a kit and a refill, and then had the people in my card class, everybody made up one of each of the 5 cards that are possible here. And that was part of what we did the day that we had my card class. And they're just so beautiful, just the way they are. So what I thought I would do today is share with you this amazing kit. This kit comes with, and you know me, I'm always messing with whatever somebody gives me, but I am so taken with this, I'm making them up exactly as they are in the kit. So you get the Lots of Happy stamp set, and let me just show you what this stamp set consists of. There's this stamp that says, sending you lots and lots of happy. I just love the sentiments in this. Here's to the happiest birthday yet. Thank you for being a friend. I'm always here for you. This individual flower, this flower with some of the sprays, and that's matched in the kit. And then this one, you deserve the best life has to offer. I'm just very, very pleased with the stamp set in this kit. So there's that stamp set, and you also get a clear block, so it's absolutely complete. 20 printed card bases, 4 each of 5 designs, 20 printed envelopes, and the envelopes are darling. I'll show you them as we go through. Printed white and vellum die cut accents, so all of the die cuts are prepared for you and you just need to color them in. Gold foiled cardstock labels. There's a black archival Stampin' Spot. Full-size watercolor pencils in Flirty Flamingo Lemon Lime Twist. Now this is the only place I've seen a watercolor pencil in Lemon Lime Twist. Old Olive and Rich Razzleberry. And in fact, it might be the only place we get a Flirty Flamingo. And then there is some Lemon Lime Twist Ombre Ribbon, Stampin' Dimensionals. Yes, Flirty Flamingo and Lemon Lime Twist are exclusive to this kit and not available for purchase separately. So if you're in love with both of those colors, it's almost worth it to get the watercolor pencils for Lemon Lime Twist and Flirty Flamingo. And then there is all kinds of other things you could do. And I suppose you could do a kit like this, but these are the cards you make. There's this really pretty angled card, 2 full-size cards, and these smaller little cards, and they're just darling. I will show you a couple that I've got made up from the class samples that we used. This is the one that's sending you lots and lots of happy, and these little pieces were around the edges of these to cut out, and so I used some of that on the inside. And I've got a copy of this one here, and it's raised on dimensionals so that you get lots of dimension, and they had you do something a little different with the ribbon, but I just put a little piece across it and then did the sentiment. And on the inside, I just stamped this beautiful little floral stamp set here to put some decoration on the inside. And I didn't color it in, and you could certainly do that. And then I have one more that's already made up, and that is this beautiful full-size card. And here's the Vellum Leaves and the stripes and just all kinds of really pretty things. And this one I stamped and then went ahead and colored in. So that is the material that you need to make this. And the kit, like I said, is very complete with the stamp set, the Stampin' Spot, the block, the ombre ribbon, dimensionals, glue dots, everything you could hope to have. This would be a wonderful kit. to take with you when you're traveling, because everything you need is inside. You don't even need a pair of scissors with this thing, because everything just snaps out on the die cuts. So what we're going to do is, I thought I would just make up with you, and I have all of the stamps here already mounted on blocks here for working with this stamp set, and then I'm using my archival full-size stamp pad, because I really like keeping those Stampin' Spots to give away as little gifts and prizes for my card classes. So I've got the black archival ink, and what I've done is I've taken each card and put the material together. These are the envelopes right inside the card, so we'd have all of the pieces together here, and I can show you everything that's inside. And then each of the cards, envelopes for the cards, have this pretty little striped pattern as the inside of the envelope, and I think that is just very attractive. So you kind of see the black stripes here, and each card has a little bit of something that deals, just about almost all of them do, with the black stripes. And we're going to make this up very much like the kit suggests. And I've started the coloring so that it's not so tedious to watch me color. And I have the pencils that come, the watercolor pencils that come with the kit. There's a Flirty Flamingo. There's a Lemon Lime Twist. You get an Old Olive and a Rich Razzleberry. And so what I did, and the only other thing that I'm using is a blender pen. That's because you can smooth out and you can do what I call Scribbles Coloring. So this one I've already done an awful lot on it, and I thought I would just show you here what I mean by this. I am not taking any time over this coloring at all, not even making sure that everything is covered, because what I'm going to do is take this blender pen and watch what it does. It just smooths out all of those scribbles and leaves it looking absolutely perfectly colored. So bring that up so you can see that. And so you can scribble color with this, and then I used the Lemon Lime Twist on the leaves here, and I left a few, and you can see, again, I am not taking any time over those at all, because what I'm going to do is, got a little baby wipe here, and I'm just going to dab off my pen tip here, and it doesn't matter if your pen tip is colored, as long as nothing comes off, then it's perfectly safe to use a different color. So on this, all I'm doing is going over these leaves that I've colored here with the Lemon Lime Twist. It's such a cheery color. And let's see, there's one other little spot here that I need to cover. And then the blender pen just smooths everything out. It's wonderful. And I use the lighter color, the Flirty Flamingo, on these little flowers here that are in this kit. And once again, I'm going to dab off the color on my pencil here, on my blender pen, and now it looks like you've just taken all the time in the world to make sure these little pieces are colored in appropriately, and all I did was use my blender pen. It's magic. And so makes coloring really simple with this. Now, on this one, I'm going to use the instructions here. This is, let's see, this is this one. And so what they suggest is that you lay this piece right down here. It's got a little tiny rough edge here I'm going to snip off. And I'm just going to use snail And I'm going to place this piece. Hope my snail lasts here. And put this piece so that it has a margin. And then the kit comes with dimensionals and glue dots. So we'll just use the ones right from the kit. And here is a sheet of dimensionals and some glue dots. So I've got just everything I need to put this card together. So this, according to the picture, sits, well, let's see, I guess it's this piece that goes on next. And again, I'm just going to use snail on this and set that piece right across the middle. This piece then sits this way, and I believe that this one is up on dimensionals. And so I'm going to put this one up on dimensionals. Now, before I get any further, this also shows these two vellum leaves going off of the kit, off of the card, onto the crumb cake here, and I think I'll use a glue dot to put those in place. Okay, I have my vellum leaves in place, and I am going to just add this here like that. Then in this particular one, it had this round tag to go right over the top of this, and this one, let's see, did use this one, "You deserve the best life has to offer." So I'm just going to ink that up and place that in the center. Oh, that's photopolymer, so let me get my Pierce mat. And there we have, "You deserve the best life has to offer." And so that one, I'm just going to use snail because the flowers are already raised on dimensionals. And there we have, I didn't get the best stamp on that, but I believe that I can go over that with my black marker pen here. And yeah, I'll be able to do that. I'm not going to take the time to do it now, but I'll do it off camera. Now then, on the inside of this one, I think maybe we'll just use this pretty little stamp here that's got the floral spray on it here, right down here in the corner. There we go. And I'm not going to take an awful lot of time on this, but you can see where coloring these in would be quite simple. And again, scribble coloring and then using your blender pen to make that a little bit more blended. And that is card number 1. So let's move on to the second card in this kit. And this one is just as cute as it can be. It has, let me make sure I've got all of the elements out of it. This one, again, has this cute little envelope with the black stripes on it. And then this card is, again, with a crumb cake exterior. And I changed only one little thing on this, and this one I just did Flirty Flamingo here on these little flowers, which I've mostly got done ahead of time. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. And then I have these two pieces here, and I am going to color those in. And again, scribble color, and I'll bring that up so you can see exactly what I'm doing. That is really just scribbled on, and the same thing with the green. And then I'll show you what happens if you use your blender pen. Blender pens are wonderful. Scribble color, and then use my blender pen to fill those in, and it just smooths out those scribbles and fills in the color, picking up any areas that you might have missed. And there we have two perfectly colored little flowers. So on this one, the thank you, so here I have my thank you stamp, which will get inked up. See if I can do a better job on this one than I did on the last. And yes, much better job. Okay, so putting this one together is really pretty simple. Again, I'm using a bit of snail. And this one goes right on top of this card, and I made mine so that it opens from the side. And then on this one, what I did was I raised this piece on dimensionals. And what I did was, this one has this pretty gold banner that goes across here. So let me put that in place. The gold banner across here, and then it had two pieces of this pretty ombre ribbon in the lemon lime twist. Very pretty. Put a little bit of snail on that, and it had two pieces of ribbon across here, and here's my other one, and let me put a little bit of snail on it, and put those two pieces of ribbon on there. Now we can take a second and just trim those scissors, those ribbons off at a little bit of an angle here. Then let's see, I think on this one, got two of these Vellum Leaves. One, and I'm just going to put some snail on this because it's all going to be behind our sentiment here. So I'm going to put one so that it comes up this way, and one that comes down this way, and I'll probably just snip off this tail here. And then I put, again, this one on dimensionals right here in the center. And the only thing I did differently than they did was I took these cute little flowers that we colored in, and instead of tucking them underneath, I put them right here on top where you could really see them. And I thought that I really liked that added dimension to this card. And so there we go. That is the next card, and I think I will use this single little flower stamp in here, and I'm going to put 2 of them in place here like that, and I will eventually color those in so that they match the outside of the card. And then we've got this cute little envelope. So that is the next card in the process. So we have completed 2 cards now. I'm going to move on to this one next. Let me put these things back so I can see them. We've used the thank you, and we've used the you deserve the best. So let me move these things a bit out of the way. And this is the cutest little card. And this one says, wishing you lots and lots of happy. And this one also is colored in, and I've started my coloring, so I'll just finish that here. And I use the lighter, the Flirty Flamingo, on the big flower, and then I just pressed really hard on the Flirty Flamingo here on these, and then I used the Rich Razzleberry on these little ones here, and then I used the Lemon Lime Twist on all of the leaves. And so now let me use my blender pen here and just smooth out that coloring on my big flower and fill in any spots that I might have missed. And it really is very simple when you can scribble color. So I'm going to clean that brush tip off and go over these Lemon Lime Twist leaves, which just perks them up a little bit too, as far as the color is concerned. Isn't that cute? So here we go. What we have this on this card front here is we have this little striped piece, which we'll put in place right on the front of this card. Then we have this piece going here just slightly at an angle so that the leaves fit on here, and I am going to put that one up on dimensionals. And there's plenty of supplies in here. I know that the Vellum Leaves, making up the kits, what we found was that we had actually a bit of the material left over at the end, which is nice because you can just add it to your stash. All right, so if you put that on here so those leaves fit, it's a little bit of an angle across here. Now then, let's see. I think there was supposed to be a ribbon on there, and I didn't put that in place. Let me see if I can get this picked up. And we'll cut a little piece of ribbon here to go across this. And of course you can decide what it is you want to do with yours. But like I said, I was so taken with this kit. It's just so pretty, just the way they've got it imagined here, that I was really anxious to make this up just the way it's planned. So this one wishing you lots and lots of happy. Isn't that just the cutest thing? And so this is going to go on here. Oops, I didn't use my Pierce mat, so hopefully I'll be able to do it. I've got a little bit of a cushion underneath this anyway, because I've got my whole pad of grid paper here. Yep, it worked out fine, plus the Pierce mat, so there was a cushion. So this I'm just going to put on with a little bit of snail right here. And then when I was snapping these pieces out, it left me this piece. And so what I thought was it would be kind of fun to just put this piece on the inside on the bottom here to repeat a little bit of that black and white. And here's this cute little envelope that this is going to go in. It looks like my ribbon needs to be trimmed down just a little. But isn't that pretty? It's just lovely. With a gift, I think that would be absolutely wonderful. So there is card number 3. So the next card we're going to make, let me get a little bit of this stuff out of the way here. The next card is this one. And this one, again, I sort of started my coloring, and this one has a sentiment that they have put on here that says, wishing you the happiest birthday. Wishing you the happiest birthday yet. So let's just go ahead and put that sentiment on here. Well, not the best stamping, but again, I'll use my black pen and fix that. And on the coloring, what I did was I just used the rich raspberry on this one, and this piece is going to sit over the top of this one to give some additional dimension. So technically, I suppose you don't even really have to color the inside of this one. And this one, I clearly just scribble colored. I took a little bit more time with the ones outside, only because those are going to be a bit more visible. And use my blender pen here to smooth out the coloring. And I used the lemon lime twist on these leaves, and I accented it with a little bit of the darker old olive on some of these leaves. So on these, I did the lemon lime twist and then put a little bit of the darker old olive around just to add a little bit of shading effect on these, and then again used my blender pen to smooth out my coloring. And there we have that coloring done. Then on this piece, it's similar. This one just needs a little bit of coloring down here. And since this one is going to be on the top and very visible, I was a little bit more careful with my scribble coloring here, trying not to go terribly outside the lines. And then again, used my blender pen to color that in. I just love this floral thing. Maybe you were lucky enough to get one of those stamp sets out of Celebration this year that had something similar to this. All right, so putting this card together is using this little pattern piece of paper right across the front here, which I'm going to just add with a little bit of snail right down here, about 3/4 the way down the page. And then this piece, let's see, there's 2 of these Vellum Leaves, and again, I'm just going to use a bit of snail on these because they're going to be hidden. And I'm going to put one up here towards the top and add one down here along the bottom. There we go. All right, then this larger piece I'm going to just add with snail in place here, flat on the card, like this. Then I'm going to put this piece of ribbon sort of cattywampus across this card, and I'll put a bit of snail on the back of it and put it in place like that, just across the card front here. And then this piece I'm going to raise on dimensionals. This piece can go here, which gives us some dimension, and then this piece I'm just going to put snail on and set it across the center. I think that is just a great little card, and we've got this cute little envelope to go with it, and that is card number 4. The last card we're going to make is the second of the full-size cards here, and this one has there's all of the pieces for this. So this one is going to have this white panel going on the front of the card here, and I'm just going to set that down here with an even border around. Then this piece sits on top of that to give us some of those pretty black and white stripes. And you know, I'm real fond of black and white, and I love the contrast with the crumb cake. I think it's just gorgeous. Now on this piece there are some of these vellum leaves that are put into place, and there's actually 4 that they recommend. I ended up only using a couple, one on one side here and another one going the opposite direction along the bottom, and so I put mine like that. It seemed like an awful lot. So on this one, what I did was I scribble colored my little berries, whatever they are here, and I also scribble colored the lemon lime twist here, and I did add some shading of the old olive here, just around the edge and up the little stem in the middle of the leaf, and then used my blender pen to smooth out my coloring on my leaves and berries. And then I used my rich razzleberry to add just a bit of a darker highlight around some of the berries here. So there we go. Now this piece is laid down here going this way, which is why I laid my vellum leaves going the other way, and I just used snail, a little bit of snail in a couple of spots here, and laid this assembly across here on the card. And then this one has this sentiment, and it is here. It says, "I'm always here for you," and I thought that was just lovely. And so I'm going to stamp that in the center of that square. And then this part I am going to put up on dimensionals. As you can see, you have more than enough dimensionals to do everything you need. And the beauty of this is when you're done, because you could make them all happy birthday or all thank you or do whatever you'd like with them. Because I think these stamps all fit in all of these labels that come with this. So you can really customize it to do whatever it is you want. And there we go. I'm going to set this one here, square, and then I think I'll use this stamp again on the inside here to add a little bit of decoration, and I can color that later. But there is card number 5. So now I did a little coloring ahead of time just so that I wouldn't waste your time on the video, but you can see that the scribble coloring, and if you have a blender pen, how easy that makes putting color down on these cards. And so I want to bring these all back in so you can see them together here. Can't find my bone folder. I know it's here on my desk someplace. There it is. Okay, so here we have the cards, all 5 of the cards that are made up with this kit. And I think they're just as pretty as they can be. They've got a lot of color and a lot of dimension. They've got the cutouts. They've got good labels. And they're interesting shapes and sizes. So they're really quite pretty. So there's the series of 5 that you get in this kit. Let me just pinch this down a bit so it stays closed. This is the series of 5 cards that you get with this kit. Sometimes I think the kits get overlooked. I am tickled to death with this one. I think this is a lovely set of cards, and you get everything you need to make 4 of each of these different designs in an absolutely completely totally complete kit for making these cards. So again, this one would be great for travel when you to take even on a camping trip, where you're going to be spending some time with some downtime. And I just think it's lovely. In any case, I wanted to share that with you today. And the kit is in the Occasions catalog, and you can get a refill for it that gives you everything except the stamp set and the ink. But all of the rest of the materials come again in the refill kit. So you really could make up a whole lot of cards, and I just think the color combinations of all of this is great. Well, that's it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And this kit is available on my site, www.lbedinger.stampinup.net. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, and or you could join my team. Now is a good time to join. You have, starting in April, just after a quarter end, you have almost a 6-month runway to make your first minimum that would carry you through year end, so you would have discounts all the way through year end and decide at that point, because you'd have more than 6 months to make up your mind about remaining a demonstrator. And I think you'll get addicted to the discounts. And in any case, that's it for me today, and I'll be back soon with more cards and more projects. Bye!